Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce. You can go to my website at waynesPierce.com. Hungry for Disaster, Silent Partner is that music you're hearing. Yeah, there we go. Silent Partner, Hungry for Disaster. You can find that on YouTube, of all places. If you go into, it's the free music that you go use when you're creating a video. So it's all in that part of your YouTube channel. So anyway, yeah, there you go. It is the 3rd of June, 2017. We are in the midst of a complete downturn of American, really the politics that makes up the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. But I don't want to talk about that too much because that's on another podcast that I do every day, 6 days a week. And there's so much, and I'm going to say this because I understand how certain things look to certain people. I understand this, okay? I understand how people see things. Okay? Now, I want to make sure that people understand the very nature of how somebody looks at something. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about, in this first segment, about Sandy Hook. You know, Sandy Hook, remember a few years back, school got shot up, blah, 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 right? So we all know the stories. We can all search it out ourselves. We know what goes on. The question has always been, was Sandy Hook's a hoax? Was it a hoax? Now, Alex Exum, who I promote his show on my channel as well, says that he spent 4 or 5 hours looking into the information to find out for himself whether or not it was real, it was a hoax. He wanted to answer the questions on his own and from his own perspective, and that's fine. Everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. That's okay. Because that's his view of what happened. Does he have all the answers? No, but he answers one question. Was the school open? Was it closed? He says, from his point of view, that it was open. And that, you know, people need to wake up to the fact that Sandy Hook was not a hoax, that it was real and all this. That's his frame of mind, really. The Hartford Courant, Hartford, Connecticut, lawyer for radio host who has claimed Sandy Hook was a hoax, says it's all an act. Russell Blair is the contact reporter, or actually is a reporter over at the Hartford Courant. Randall Wilhite, a lawyer for Alex Jones, told a district judge in Texas that the radio host is a performance artist. This will show you one aspect of this whole conspiracy theory of Sandy Hook. There's many different aspects of many different things, but this is only one aspect of the Sandy Hook conspiracy theories that are out there and the conspiracy facts that are out there as well. Randall Wilhite, a lawyer for Jones, told a district court in Texas that the radio host is a performance artist. The comment came during a hearing in a custody dispute between Jones and his wife. He compared judging Jones based on his on-air comments to evaluating actor Jack Nicholson based on his role as the Joker in Batman, the newspaper reported. Now, this article came out. Let me look here. It came out the It came out the 18th of April, 2017. Jones's comment about Sandy Hook have left bitter feelings among the families in Newtown who have dealt with a barrage of conspiracy theories and wild claims that their children never existed. The Sandy Hook truthers, that's in quotes, as they have been called, are still prevalent even 4.5 years after the shooting, which left 20 first graders and 6 educators dead. Earlier this year, the Newtown School Board sent a letter to President Donald Trump asking him to denounce Jones and, quote, any and all who spread lies that the tragedy was a hoax, unquote. Jones has boasted of his relationship with Trump, including phone calls with the president. Quote, he brags about how you called him after your victory in November, unquote. The letters read, quote, he continues to hurt the memories of those lost, the ability of those left behind to heal, unquote. And it goes on and on and on, and I'll put this on my Facebook page, Wayne S. Pierce. That's my Facebook page, and that's where you can find it. I can also link this on the website as soon as I go and put it on there. But for right now, you can find it on the website, and I'm going to not put it on my personal website, personal Facebook page. I will put it on American Liberty Radio podcast because it is something that we have to discuss. It is 4.5 years, almost 5 years later. We have to discuss this because it is important. And I know this for a fact. I know for a fact that people are going to sit there and say, well, you know, it was this and it was that and blah, 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 and the whole 9 yards. I mean, people are going to have their own particular view on all of it. And I want people to understand various points of views, not just my own, not just Alex Jones, not just Alex Exum. I want people to get the whole view of everything, not just little, 10-minute sound bites of, what people think, how they manage to hide things or not hide things or come up with speculative, points of view or anything of that nature. But I want to give you another aspect of this, of the Sandy Hook situation as well. This came out the 3rd of June, 2017, today, actually. 33 unanswered questions on Sandy Hook's 3rd anniversary, conspiracies, false flags, and Micaiah Freeman. This article specifically, now let me, if my browser decides that it wants to work, I will tell you today is June 20th, or 3rd of June 2017. This article, excuse me, excuse me, little things going on there. Let me get back to this as I choke up and have this phlegmy stuff going on because of my stupid sinuses. 14th of December, 2015. As the Sandy Hook 3rd anniversary rolls around this December 14th, 2015, it is well worth remembering what a strange, unique, manipulative, and horrific event occurred on December 14th, 2012. Sorry, again, getting choked up because of my stupid sinuses. Let me start over. Take 2. As the Sandy Hook 3rd anniversary rolls around, this is from 14th December 2015, it is well worth remembering what a strange, unique, manipulative, and horrific event occurred on the 14th of December 2012. When the author here, Micaiah Freeman, says, when I say horrific, I am not referring to what you may think was the horrific aspect of the event, the gunning down of 20 innocent children and 6 innocent adults. That is unquestionably horrific, but The date, there has hardly been enough evidence to prove, but to date there has been hardly been enough evidence to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that actual people were gunned down. Okay? I'm just going to stop right there and insert this. People would take that and say, see, it was all set up, it was all funny. Let me go on. This is from the activistpost.com. It goes on to say Sandy Hook has become colloquially, whatever the hell word that is, I don't know, has become known as the Sandy Hook hoax or Sandy hoax, the first false flag in the recent history to be exposed as an entirely fabricated event, replete with a fake setting, a fake school, and fake victims. It marks the first in a series of false flag hoaxes where fake victims and fake victims' family, crisis actors, have been used. Since the majority of the people still cannot fathom that Sandy Hook was a staged event, the template of using crisis actors has been used again and again, e.g. at the Boston Marathon. Yes, that has been proven to be a false flag event as well. Now that we are passing the Sandy Hook 3rd anniversary, it is time to turn back the clock and re-examine some unanswered questions pertaining to the event. Okay? I'm going to put this up here, and I am going to let you read all of that yourself. Okay? Now, of course, there's ads and there's videos popping up by themselves, and just so bear with me, that's activistpost.com. That's not me, so there you go. It's on American Liberty Radio podcast for all you to take a gander at. This is Wayne Pierce, Wayne S. Pierce for American Liberty Radio Network. You can go to my website at waynespearce.com, check it out, or AmericanLibertyRadio.com, check that out as well. I want you to check out those articles that I put up there. I want to go here. I want to go here and go in a different direction because I want people to understand that even though we have our own perspectives, even though that we may have an affinity to something, even though that we may enjoy certain things or find other things so disturbing, it's all in the perspective that you have. It's all in the perspective that you have. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? I had to take some water there, folks, because, no stuff going on there. What do I mean by that? Here's perspective. Stand in a room, look straight ahead. Don't turn your head, don't turn your eyes, don't do anything, don't turn your body, don't do nothing. Just stand like a military personnel, staring straight ahead. That's your perspective. But if you want to get a different perspective, go ahead and move around. Go ahead, spin around, look up, look down, move your eyes, whatever. Get a different perspective. There you go. That's your perspective. But do not mistake that perspective, whatever that may be, with perception. Because the perception that all perception is what you see. Perspective is how you're seeing it. From what point are you seeing this? Okay, let me do this. And I like doing this because, well, I want to let you folks know. Perception. I'm at dictionary.com. Okay, the result or product of perceiving as distinguished from the act of perceiving, precept. The immediate or, get this, intuitive recognition or appreciation as of moral, psychological, or aesthetic qualities, insight, intuition, discernment. And here's number one. It's a noun. The act of faculty, the act or faculty of perceiving or apprehending by means of the senses or of the mind, cognitive understanding. That's perception. Let's look under, perspective. Excuse me. Damn sinuses. Driving me nuts. As soon as my browser decides to want to go there it is. Noun, perspective. Noun, a technique of depicting volumes and spatial relationships on a flat surface. A picture employing this technique, especially one of which it is prominent. A visible scene, especially one extending to a distance. A state of existing in space before the eye. That's the state of existing in the space before the eye. That's what I was talking about. You stand there, you just look, you don't move your eyes, don't move anything. You are in a state of, you have the state of existing in space before the eye. You just look, there it is. There's the state of existing in the space before the eye. The state of one's ideas, the facts known to one, etc., and having meaningful interrelationship. And it goes on and on and on. But those are the two definitions of perspective and perception. Now, here's the problem, folks. I chuckle. Here's the problem. It's the interpretation of what you perceive as a result of where you're standing, what your perspective is. Okay? I don't see because of my perspective. My perspective is in the room, staring straight ahead, not moving my eyes, not doing anything. My perception is based upon my angle, based upon my position, based upon my, many other variants in my state of perspective. My perception is going to be limited to that perspective. Okay? I know that's deep for some. I know that some are going, oh my God, you lost me at... Just hang on. Bear with me for a minute. You're standing in a room all by yourself. You're looking straight ahead. There's just you're drilling an imaginary hole in the wall across from you. That's what you're doing. That's your perspective. You're perceiving through mental acuity and physical appearance. You're perceiving that limited view of that portion of whatever's in front of you. You see what I'm saying? Let me break this down in a much more simpler fashion. And it's this. Don't always believe what you see. That's an argument that people are going to give you. Don't believe anything that you see. If it's on the internet, it must be true. No, it's not. Because anybody with half a brain and a little bit of common sense would think, wait a minute, that's not right. Okay? And so here we are in a room, in the world, in the environment that we are in, and we have a perspective that says, or we have a perspective that shows us a limited view of our surroundings. Okay? Let me wrap this up by saying what you perceive, what you see, what visual data is coming to you in that limited perspective, from that limited perspective, within that environment you are in, is going to be the only thing you're ever going to know. That is why we need to learn how to interpret what we see, whether it be in physical form or symbols or whatever else. We need to be able to understand our perspective. We need to understand our perception. And we need to understand how to interpret what we see, what we perceive as a result of our position or our perspective in our environment. Now, I know that's deep. Let me break that down even simpler. Your reality is based entirely upon where you are and what you see. Your reality, quote unquote, is literally based upon where you are and what you see. Now, how are we going to interpret that? How are we going to interpret what we see in our environment? Well, it's pretty doggone easy if you ask me. You investigate, you research, you put forth the effort to find the information and to get the answers for you, because the answers that you find for you are only going to benefit you and your perception and perspective, and that's how you're going to interpret your environment. So let me take all of that. Let me take all of that and say this. I am not a conspiracy theorist, so get that out of your mind. I am a person who looks for the truth, the facts, and no BS. That's what I look for. The information that I have gotten and heard and seen about Sandy Hook has been information that I have seen and read and heard to satisfy my own perspective in my environment. It does not necessarily mean I'm right or wrong. It just means, hey, look at this information. You know? So when we look at Sandy Hook and when we examine all of the false flags, Sandy Hook, Boston, the Aurora, Colorado shooting, all of those, when we examine each and every single one of those and more, including 9/11, we have to understand where we were at the time. What was our perspective at the time? And how did we perceive the information given to us at the time? Those are two things that are interchangeable and work, but here's the caveat. What was being told to us at the time? How was that being interpreted and understood? It was told to us that this happened the way that it did, quote unquote, i.e., the official story. It was told to us that it happened in a certain way. And it was told to us that we should, as suggested by our mainstream propaganda media, that we should see it and interpret it in a certain way. Okay? Let me break that down into bullet points. Your perspective is how you see things, is the position by which you see things. The perception is what you see. The interpretation is how you understand that in your environment. Now you have outside variance, including the media, including other people, including experts, quote unquote, telling you that what you saw was not what it was, that they tell you exactly what you need to know and how you need to understand it. This is why within a person, when they see something happening and someone says that it didn't happen the way they saw it, their mind goes, excuse me? Their intuition says, hey, wait a minute, I know. There is no way around it. So as far as I'm concerned, do I have all the answers about Sandy Hook, about Aurora, Colorado, about, all of that? No, I don't. Am I right or wrong? It depends. Do I have the factual information, in front of me to give to you or to prove to myself that it's accurate and factual? No. Am I wrong? Well, technically, no. Did I overlook something? Possibly, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. Folks, I've told you before that if I don't know something, I will tell you straight up, I don't know. It's just the way it is. It's common sense. Okay? But when I look at people like Alex Jones and Wally Schobot and Alex Exum talk about this stuff and claim and slam everything into this little box and say, boom, there is the answer, and they go from there. Kind of makes me wonder, doesn't it? Makes me wonder a little bit. Doesn't it you? Don't you wonder about these things? So when somebody makes the factual assertion and claims and throws it all into this box and says, Alex Jones is wrong and Wally Schubot's wrong and I've got the answers, and this I'm criticizing Alex Exum because I just heard Alex Exum the Exum experience on Spreaker, 12 minutes of him going through what he thought was actual and factual information. And I can't prove him wrong. I'm just telling you now. But he's slamming all of that in a box and saying, there it is right there. There's the truth. There's the facts. All the conspiracy theorists are wrong. There was no crisis actors. There was no this. There was no. So he's making these factual assertions that he's right. When I'm telling you that all the information that's out there is either convoluted, messed up, misinformation, misdirection of factual information. As a magician, he does sleight of hand. You know what I mean? So there's all of that. So before I go to break, I want to say this. I don't know exactly what happened at Sandy Hook. I don't know if it's a hoax, but a lot of people are saying it is. I don't know if it was real. A lot of people saying it is. And a lot of people on the outside of that are looking at people like Alex Jones and Alex Exum and saying that they're wrong. Really? Or they're right. Or both of them are, yelling at one another, figuratively speaking, saying that each other, one of them two, Alex Jones or Alex Exum, are completely void of all facts. Okay? So, there's that you got to consider. Seriously. So, again, I don't know what happened at Sandy Hook. Okay? I don't know. Okay? So, with all the information out there and some of the things I've seen going, oh, yeah, it was a hoax, and some of the other stuff that is very credible, I look at and go, oh, maybe it didn't. Oh, well, wait a minute. So at one point, in the last year, I'm done. I don't know what happened out there. Okay? I have no idea what happened in Newtown. But I think somebody smart enough, maybe smarter than me, can put all the pieces together and put to rest all of these critics who say that conspiracy theorists are wrong. Or the other way around. So how about doing that? How about doing that? I'm going to go to break, folks. This is Wayne Pierce. WayneSPierce.com is the website. I am Wayne S. Pierce. Email me. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you think. And I shall return right after this. American Liberty Radio Network. Listener-supported online patriotic radio. With the new year upon us, the truth will be seen as fake news, and the lies from the propagandists of the mainstream media will forever be in the minds of those who have been indoctrinated with their disinformation. Your support of alternative and independent media is vitally important to the continuance of our freedom of speech and expression. It is very crucial that you consider supporting other media options. American Liberty Radio Network is supported by listeners. If you are a local business, consider supporting independent online patriotic radio with your advertising dollars as well. There are two options for you. One, you could advertise your product or service with us, or you can donate to the network. Consider contributing to independent media today. Consider American Liberty Radio Network. Contact us at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com or go to our website at AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activities, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Distorted Reality. I am your host, Nick Tucker, and I welcome you to the broadcast.
Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network. We the people have the power, for we are America. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. How you doing? Welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. Hey, there you go. That's a good name for it, isn't it? You can go to my website at waynespearce.com. Check it out as well. Go to American Liberty Radio Network backup site. That would be our alternative site, if you will. It is at AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. You can go there and check out all the... It's very light. There's just, not so much there. But you can check out what's going on there as well. Let's go into this direction. We were talking about Sandy Hook. And... or I was talking about Sandy Hook. Excuse me, a little gassy there. That's what Pepsi does to you. Hey, this is the 3rd of June, 2017. Hey, you know what? Let's go here. Let's go over here. We're talking about Sandy Hook, so let's jump on over to... Let's jump on over to this. Okay. From hangthebankers.com, 24th of April, 2013, they posted this article. Proof Boston Marathon bombing was a false flag operation. Anyone with an active brain cell on duty can see the version of events given by the dying mainstream media surrounding the Boston Marathon bombing does not add up one bit. For those that want more information and facts on the events that took place, look at the pictures below and the articles linked at the bottom of this one. User prediction made before the events happened. There's pictures, yada, yada, yada. I mean, it goes down the whole schmear. This is going up on American Liberty Radio podcast. That's where you can find it as well. Just a little show note for you. Several months ago, probably over a year ago now, I had the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I used to do the Wayne S. Pierce Show and the Views Expressed live twice a day. I used to do the Wayne S. Pierce Show first and then Views Expressed live later on. And I thought about bringing back the Wayne S. Pierce Show because it's just a plethora of a lot of things. It's just me having a conversation with you. It's just me talking to you. That's all it is. Just me. And I talk about a lot of other things, but other than what I've talked about in the first segment and also in this part of the second segment here, but I literally talk about everything. And mostly, I talk about certain things that people question. You know, I talk about that. That's one of the aspects of the show. But I also talk about other things. Now, the other day I had a podcast and I talked about theater and I talked about what's going on in New York and all that as far as the theater is concerned. And what makes this show, this podcast, is the fact that I can talk about so many different things. Now, in the process, give you a little behind-the-scenes baseball here, I'm trying to set up to take calls. You know, from guests, not just anybody on the face of the planet, but just have guests on to talk about certain things or to have a conversation with. So I'm still doing that behind the scenes. Okay. So that's what this particular podcast consists of. And I'll have it on let me go. You know, it's one of those days, folks. I'll have it on Spreaker.com. I'll have it on WayneSPierce.com. And you'll hear it. And I really would like to encourage you to interact. Drop a comment on the Spreaker side of things. Drop a comment on Facebook at American Liberty Radio Podcasts. I really, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you have to say about the particular issues and subjects that I've talked about. Okay? Now, let me move on. Let me move on. I belabored that issue for a while. But it will be on the website at WayneSPierce.com. So let me go here. I'm still into the conspiracy-minded mode. What's fake? What's real? What's all that? Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what the article says, but I would like you to go check it out on your own. The 3rd of June, 2017, Infowars.com. Terrorist attack London Bridge. Alex Jones reports direct result of globalist ran unvetted immigration. Another terrorist attack strikes the UK, this time with shots and stabbings reported along with a truck attack. Okay? London police confirm, this is from RT.com, London police confirm they are dealing with 3 incidents in the city centre on Saturday evening. A vehicle collision with pedestrians on London Bridge, reported stabbings in the Borough Market area, and a third incident in Vauxhall. I think that's how you pronounce it, sorry, Vauxhall. In an unprecedented move, the Metropolitan Police have advised people to run, hide, and tell on Twitter. Yeah, the Metropolitan Police there in London is telling people to run and hide. Police cars and ambulances, helicopters have arrived to the London Bridge, according to various eyewitnesses' reports on Twitter. The Metropolitan Police said they will release further information after making sure it is accurate, following social media reports that there was an attacker with a knife and a gunfire heard in the area. So this is going up on American Liberty Radio podcast as well. So check that out. In this particular podcast, again, I'm going to stay with the conspiratorial, conspiracy-minded type of thought. And I'm going to go to Breitbart.com right now. And the next website I'm going to go to is 21stCenturyWire.com. After this, terror attacks in UK, stupid ads. They need to go away. Terror attacks in UK, van runs over pedestrians, stabbing on London Bridge, multiple injuries, second incident in Borough Market, armed police at the scene, eyewitness, this is for Allah. Now, let me go read that. Witnesses have said a white van mounted the pavement and ran over pedestrians. There are reports there are armed police at the scene and about 5 people are being treated for their injuries after being hit by the vehicle. BBC reporter Holly Jones, who was on the bridge at the time of the incident, said the van was driven by a man and was, quote, probably traveling at about 50 miles an hour, unquote. Ms. Jones said the van, which was traveling from the direction of central London, headed towards the south side of the river. She later reported seeing a man being arrested by police. She said he was handcuffed and had his shirt off. An eyewitness told Sky News he saw people who seemed to have been run over and people being placed in an ambulance covered in blankets. A nearby railway station has been closed and police are advising people to stay away from the area. Run, hide, and tell, like I said in the last article. Yeah, so there's confirmation from Breitbart. As of British time at 1 in the morning, 1:15 in the morning, let me go up here and give you a 1:20. Let's see, hold on here. Let me give you some updates here. 01:25 British time, Air Ambulance Emergency Services, SAS, deployed. Emergency services have confirmed an advanced trauma unit from the air ambulance has been dispatched on the scene. 1:15, this is like 10 minutes before that. Telegraph reports assailant shouted, quote, this is for Allah, unquote. So, yeah, and 15 minutes before that at 1 a.m. British time, Reuters reporting witness saw people having their throats cut. Reuters is reporting that a person who was on the London Bridge after the incident on Saturday told a Reuters reporter that she saw 3 people who appeared to have their throats cut. 1:45 in the morning, the incident is ongoing and the members of the public are being advised to avoid the London Bridge and Borough Market areas. Yeah, so on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on if I didn't already put it on there. Yeah, terrorist attack. Well, this is Breitbart, so yeah. Let me go put this on there on American Liberty Radio podcast. I'm not scripted here, folks. I don't have notes in front of me. I take mental notes of things I want to talk about, and I just move on. So there's that. It's on American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. So there you go. How has the ability of people to protect themselves gotten better? Or has it gotten better? Okay? How has the ability of people to protect themselves gotten better? I don't think it has. Specifically in London, in England, you can't have a handgun to protect yourself. You got to, scream and run and hide and tell somebody else and tell a cop, and they'll go deal with it. Yeah. Yeah, folks, this is how it is in the world. This is what you got. This is what socialism and the basis by which people live under that type of political philosophy are living. Don't protect yourself. Go run to the authorities. They'll do something about it. Go hide. If somebody breaks into your house, find a place to hide. If somebody beats you up on the street, don't go after him. Just tell a cop. This is the insanity of socialism. Or in London's case, pseudo-socialism. Yeah, you didn't think there was such a thing, did you? Yeah. London mayor. Cowardly and horrific terrorist attack. That's what the London mayor is saying. Let me go over to this article on Breitbart. Quote, potential act of terror, unquote, as van hits pedestrians in, quote, major incident, unquote, at London Bridge, reports of stabbing, multiple injuries, yada, yada, yada. There you go. I'm going to put that one up there, too, because I just read the headline, so I want you guys to see it. And this is from Breitbart. So take it with a grain of salt or take it for what it is. I mean, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to encourage you to go out and look this stuff up on your own. Anti-Donald Trump play, Building the Wall, shuts down in New York after poor ticket sales. Yeah, duh. Van Jones. Trump's Paris pullout, another burger for base. Oh, excuse me. Let me reread that. Van Jones, Trump's Paris pullout, ate nothing burger for base. One of the dumbest moves in politics. That's what Van Jones has said. That one's going up on American Liberty Radio Podcast. It just goes to show, folks, I'm just showing you how this all transpires as we go on through our lives and do the things we do and all of that. Tucker Carlson. Hey, here we go. I had to pause there for a minute, folks. I was reading something. Sorry, my apologies. Tucker Carlson. Kathy Griffin is the perfect embodiment of what the modern left believes. During the opening monologue of Tucker Carlson tonight, host Tucker Carlson offered his thoughts on last week's controversy involving Kathy Griffin holding up a severed, bloodied mannequin head of President Donald Trump. After apologizing, Griffin later held a news conference and declared herself to be a victim, to which Carlson said was a signal of her embodiment of the left. Transcripts are there, folks. Right in that article I'm putting up on American Liberty Radio Podcast. All this is going up on American Liberty Radio Podcast. Okay? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make this perfectly clear for people to understand. And I don't want people to... I don't want you to take away from what I'm about to say anything other than I'm telling you the truth with the facts. There are some good people in the mainstream propaganda media, such as Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson. But there are some really stupid people in the mainstream propaganda media. Ed Schultz, Rachel Maddow. I mean, you name it. You can just go down the list. Mika Brzezinski, who I don't feel sorry for because her father passed away. Oh, God, you're heartless. No. Zbigniew Brzezinski was a freaking... Oh, God. Just go look him up. Zbigniew Brzezinski. Go look him up. Him and George Soros are pretty much right up there at the top of the list of people who really screwed everybody, everywhere. But as we look around at the propaganda media, we have to realize that there are some good people out there. There are some majorly good people out there, but very few and far between the other douchebags that are out there like Bill Maher and, all those folks. So there are good people out there. And here's what I wanted to say. You can, and I'm going to use me as an example. You can point your finger at me and call me a conspiracy theorist and tell me, oh, just because it's on the internet, it's got to be true. Or, that's your truth and your facts and all of that. You can come up with some other, adages yourself. But I'm telling you the truth and the facts with no BS. We have a shadow government out there. It is ruining this country because half of America, if not, a little less than half, are siding with those people like Sanders and Clinton to destroy the rest of the United States of America. They tried doing it under Barack Obama, but because of the Patriots saw what was going on behind the curtain, guess what? They went to social media and pushed really, really hard. And Obama had to back down from what he was told to do. Yes, he was told to do it. Now, to all those folks out there that call me a conspiracy theorist, that point their fingers at me, I want to ask you this question. Can you prove anything that you're saying? And if you can't, I got one suggestion for you. By the way, you can do whatever you want, but I'm only going to suggest this. You can shut the hell up. That's all it is, because your narrative is a bunch of bullshit. That's all it is. I make no bones about it. You're just full of crap. That's all it is. Am I right? Am I wrong? Not completely on either side of that. But I got more accuracy and more I've got more factual information that's accurate than you do. And you possibly could have more information than I do. But about 98% of the time, you're full of bullshit. That's all there is to it. That's it. There's no getting around that. Okay? When I was living in California, in Commie, California, I was living there from 1992. Well, I was born and raised there, but I kept going back and forth between California and Nevada and figured, well, what the hell, I'll just move back to California. So I did from 1992 to 2006. And let me tell you something. I hung out with a bunch of liberals. I hung out with a bunch of Democrats. I hung out with a bunch of fascists and Republicans and socialists and atheists and you name it. I hung out with these people, okay? We sat down, we went out to lunch, whatever. We had coffee. But let me point something out to you. Even some of the right-wing Christian conservatives that I've seen and talked to and hung out with are the most intolerant people on the face of the planet. Seriously. So when you look at things like, when you look at places like Venezuela, when you look at Russia, when you look at, Saudi Arabia, when you look at all these places, let me just put this on the table. How tolerant are you of somebody else who is against everything that you believe? Democratic fascists, Democratic socialists and Republican fascists are against any patriot that wants peace, freedom, security, and liberty for the rest of the United States of America. They are against people that want to get rid of the Federal Reserve and the IRS and repeal the Act of 1871. They are against people who want to hold our politicians, our congressmen, accountable for going to places like the Bilderberg Group meetings, currently in Setlle, Virginia, ending tomorrow. They're against that. When you stand up for what you believe and you stand up against tyranny, you've just put a massive target on you. But you see, I ripped that damn target off and I just go full bore, I keep going ahead. I keep going forward, into the breach, forward. Why? Because I have a duty and a responsibility to tell the truth with the facts, without all the BS. And I have a duty and a responsibility to my neighbors, to my coworkers, to my friends and family, to protect them as best as I possibly can, and to put my life on the line for what I believe is the truth. That's what I do. So American Liberty Radio Network is on that front line with others in the independent media. And we are there with everybody else behind us bitching and moaning and groaning and pissing themselves, saying, well, this Sandy Hook was real and blah, blah, blah. You know what? You don't know either because you weren't there, so shut your damn mouth. I believe the official story, and you're a freaking idiot. I'm not shy to say what you are. Democratic socialist, Republican fascist. Anybody that follows Sanders and Clinton. Oh yeah, you can bitch at me all you want and say, well, you're wrong. That's your opinion, that's your truth, that's your facts. No, folks. That's the facts, the truth. Don't like it? You don't have to, because it destroys your paradigm and your preconceived delusional ideas. That's why you're pissed off at me. Okay? Go on to break. I'll be back. Don't go away. This is Wayne S. Pierce. You can find me at waynesPierce.com. Talk to you in a bit. You know what you want. You want the truth. You want the facts. Without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Distorted Reality. I am your host, Nick Tucker, and I welcome you to the broadcast.
Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activities, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
No, I think this would be the time, because you really need to bring China into the creation of a new world order.
A new world order.
Of a new world order.
A new world order.
World order.
Folks, welcome back. This is Wayne S. Pierce. WayneSPierce.com is the website. Go check it out. The music you're hearing is from Silent Partner, Not Me. Yeah, there we go. It's Silent Partner, Not Me. You can find out on YouTube if you go into your channel and you go into Video Manager and then you go into Create, and it'll bring up all kinds of music. And some have attributions, and there's a link up there, a pull down menu that says no attributions. You can click that, and that's all free music you can use on YouTube when you make your videos. So that's one of them. That's Silent Partner with Not Me. So big thumbs up to Silent Partner out there. Top of the hour. This is the 3rd of June 2017. How are you? How are you? Yeah, big old Pepsi burp there. Sorry about that. Couldn't help it. Sorry. I didn't mean to burp on air. That's bad radio. Lindsey Graham says, I have a reason to believe a conversation I had with a foreign leader was unmasked. What? Let's go check out what he talks about. 2nd of June, 2017, Pam Key, thank you, from Breitbart. She writes, Friday on Fox News Channel, America's Newsroom, Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican of South Carolina, said he had a reason to believe his conversations with foreign leaders were requested to be unmasked. Graham said, quote, I have reason to believe that a conversation I had was picked up with some foreign leader or some foreign person, and somebody requested that my conversation be unmasked. I've been told that by people in the intelligence community. All I can say is there are 1,950 collections on American citizens talking to people that were foreign agents being surveilled either by the CIA, FBI, or NSA. Quote, here is the concern. Did the people in the Obama administration listen in to those conversations. He continued, quote, was there a politicizing of the intelligence gathering process? Here is what I want to know. This is what Lindsey Graham says. Here's what I want to know of the 1,950 collections on American citizens. How many of them involve presidential candidates, members of Congress from either party? And if these conversations were unmasked, who made the request? I want to know everything there is about unmasking, how it works, and who requested unmasking of conversations between foreign people and the American members of Congress, unquote. He added, quote, I've got information to suggest that I was incidentally collected. I don't know if I was unmasked or not. I've sent a letter to the NSA, FBI, and the CIA requesting any collection on Lindsey Graham. If you have any reason to believe a member of Congress is committing a crime, you go get a warrant to follow us around like you would any other citizen. I meet with foreign leaders all the time, and I would be upset if any executive branch agency listed on my conversations listened in on my conversations because I'm in another branch of the government, unquote. That's what Lindsey Graham says. I'm putting that up on American Liberty Radio podcast. We live in a surveillance, under a surveillance grid, folks. We do. That's on American Liberty Radio podcast. Go look that up there. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Nick Tucker, Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network, and also distortedreality.podbean.com. Go check him out as well. I had a conversation with him last night about a lot of stuff, including Bilderberg Group. And that's distortedreality.podbean.com. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook, and Distorted Reality, N as in Nick, T as in Tucker, on gab.ai. Thomas Pyle, scrapping Paris deal, quote, one of the single most important decisions, unquote, Trump has made. I said that headline. That's going up on American Liberty Radio podcasts. You can go to my website at waynespearce.com. Check that out as well. There's a sponsors page. If you care to sponsor this show, you can definitely sponsor the show. And I would like that. Keep the lights on in the studio and keep the show going. I mean, why not? I mean, don't you want to hear what's going on? Yeah, just go to radio shows and schedules and check out the past podcast and live shows that I've had. By the way, I'm at the website now, my own, which is waynespearce.com. There is no sponsors page. Sorry. Here's what I would like you to do if you want to contribute to the network. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Go to the sponsors page, and all the advertising information is there for pricing and such. But if you want to become a patron, drop $1 in the kitty there. Click on that button and drop in however much you so desire to help us keep the lights on around here and become a patron. So AmericanLibertyRadio.com, go to the sponsors page, and there it is. Donald Trump signs bill assisting law enforcement. Quote, we are behind you 100%. Let's take a look at what that is. It's from 3rd of June, 2017, Charlie Sparing. President Donald Trump signed 2 bills on Friday assisting law enforcement officers, vowing to back the community 100%. Quote, we are here today to reaffirm our unbreakable support of the American heroes who keep our streets, our homes, and our citizens safe, and they've been doing an amazing job under very adverse conditions, unquote, Trump said during a signing ceremony at the White House. Trump signed the Public Safety Officers Benefits Improvement Act, a bill to help streamline benefits for disabled officers and the families of fallen officers. Quote, far too long injured officers have suffered, and the children of fallen officers have put their dreams of college on hold while bureaucracies delayed crucial benefits, made it impossible for their families, unquote, said Trump, quote, no longer. Now, this is a good thing. He says, for too long, injured officers have suffered. Yes, they are. Yes, they have. And I know a few in the past, and the children of fallen officers have put their dreams of college on hold while bureaucracies delayed crucial benefits, made it impossible for their families. And Trump says no longer, it's unacceptable and it's going to end today, unquote. Trump also signed the American Law Enforcement Heroes Act, a bill allowing federal grants to help military veterans transition into careers in law enforcement. Several members of the law enforcement community joined Trump in the diplomatic reception room for the signing ceremony, including representatives from the Fraternal Order of Police and the National Sheriff's Association. So there you go, folks. That's going up on American Liberty Radio podcast. I kind of highlighted a few things, so go check it out. Yeah. You, the citizens of the United States of America, with your God-given rights protected by the Second Amendment, have every right to carry a weapon and to defend yourself, period. I don't want to hear any more about it. That's it right there. So, you're the front line to protect your friends and family and neighborhood, and the law enforcement in your area are pretty much either the second or last people that you'll ever see when it comes to protecting you. Okay? So anyway, let's go here to, oh crap, I'm trying to go back and my browser decides, no, I don't want to go there. I pressed the wrong button, folks. Yeah, there we go. Evidence exposes Boston Marathon bombings as, let me go look. It's presscorps.ca, which is out of Canada. Evidence exposes Boston Marathon bombings as U.S. government false flag. This came out Thursday, the 18th of July, 2013. 4 years ago, folks. 4 years ago. 15th of April, 2013. Quote, officials, there will be a controlled explosion opposite the library within 1 minute as part of a bomb squad activities, unquote. That's on Twitter. Almost 2 hours later at 2:50 p.m., bombs exploded near the finish line of the Boston Marathon, killing 3 people and injuring more than 100 others. There's pictures. There's all of that. I am not going to say any more than what I just said because of the fact that I would like you to check it out and draw your own conclusions. I don't want to influence you in any way, shape, or form as to how you particularly see it. Okay? So, there it is, American Liberty Radio Podcast, and there is the as soon as it goes there, there it is. It's on there. So, it is important to know, as I move into the next segment of this podcast, it is important to know that there are certain things that stand out as being questionable that our government does. Now, I said I was going to go to 21stcenturywire.com, and I will right now. U.S. News section of 21stcenturywire.com. Stuart Hooper reported yesterday, the 2nd of June 2017, on 21stcenturywire.com, Kathy Griffin and Hillary Clinton are losers, not victims. 21st Century Wire reported Hollywood suffers meltdown over Trump's withdrawal from Paris climate deal. They also talk about Bilderberg, more secret meetings with Trump advisors, U.S. senators, which is against the Hogan Act, I think. Boiler Room. That's the radio episode on alternate current radio that is there. Boiler Room episode number 111, Build a World Order Burger. That's, there you go. I mentioned before As soon as my browser stops, doing its thing, it glitches. Okay? When we go out into the world, when we go to work, when we go see our friends, when we go to the restaurants, when we go bowling, when we go somewhere, wherever it is we go to enjoy life, when we go camping or fishing or hunting, my question to you is this. Do you feel as if you're free to do that? Or do you, literally, with it, you're going to do it anyway, right? But do you feel a sense of freedom? Just a question. 27 May 2017, Zbigniew Brzezinski, globalist scion, dies at the age of 89. Zbigniew Brzezinski was my browser just hates Wi-Fi. And then if I do too much, it'll burp and go, can't get to the page. 21st Century Wire. Zbigniew Brzezinski, National Security Advisor to President Jimmy Carter and founding member of the Trilateral Commission, died yesterday at the age of 89. Arguably one of the most influential thinkers and authors of the 20th and 21st century, Brzezinski is regarded by many as the vanguard of modern globalism and the architect of the New World Order. Brzezinski's two seminal publications, Between Two Ages and the Grand Chessboard, are near blueprints of how globalization and geopolitics has progressed in the post-World War II world under a international system of Anglo-American economic and political hegemony. Brzezinski was born in Warsaw, Poland, and attended university in both Canada and the U.S. In mainstream politics, Brzezinski first came to prominence in the early 1960s as an advisor to President John F. Kennedy and later with his successor Lyndon Baines Johnson. During his tenure as Chief National Security Advisor to President Jimmy Carter began in 1976, Brzezinski is said to have helped to broker the Panama Canal Treaty as well as Camp David negotiations between Israeli and Egyptian leaders, Menachem Begin and Anwar Sadat. I remember that, by the way. He was also credited with opening up China to the West and helping to topple the Soviet Union. In his final years, Brzezinski's efforts focused on the US-EU project to encircle and isolate Russia by pulling former Soviet republics and Balkan countries under the umbrella of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Okay. Putting that up, and that's the whole article, folks. I just read you the whole thing. Putting this up on American Liberty Radio Podcast. His daughter, Mika Brzezinski, is co-host on The Morning Joe with Joe Scarborough. He's a flip-flopper right there, telling you. Let me ask you a question, and I'll get into my next article here real soon. Let me ask you a question. Here's a group of people meeting at the Westfield Marriott in Chantilly, Virginia. They're meeting like right now, or they may have met already. And they're discussing how they're going to maneuver the global chess pieces around to change history, to change the countries, to change what is going on. I just don't understand why people cannot and will not ever accept the facts that we are being run by a shadow government. Okay? We are being run by a shadow government, period, end of sentence, done. I don't see why people cannot accept that. Manchester, the explosion last week in Manchester. Radicalization and violent extremism is the responsibility of Western governments, Vanessa Beeley, reports this today, the 3rd of June, 2017. Let me click on that. This is from international section of 21stcenturywire.com. Jeremy Salt, Palestine Chronicle. When Jeremy Corbyn made a direct link between the Manchester bombing and Britain's wars in Iraq, Libya, and Syria, he was roundly attacked by justifying terrorism, supporting terrorism, being soft on terrorism, and being weak. Theresa May accused him of saying terror attacks in the UK, quote, are all our own fault, unquote, even before he spoke to The Sun, was referring to outrage as, quote, it is revealed Corbyn will claim Britain's war on terror is to blame for Manchester terror attack, unquote. Again, folks, I talked about perspective and perception. Think about that for a minute while you read that article. It's on American Liberty Radio podcast from 21stcenturywire.com. Only going to go for a few more minutes to the bottom of the hour, and then I'm out of here. But I want to help you focus on what is going on in our world today. Okay? Because what they are doing in Setlle, Virginia right now will affect your life. In one way or another, it will affect your life. There's no question about it. There's no doubt in my mind that it will affect everyone's life. Now, if we look at people like Rockefeller, who passed away, along with Zbigniew Brzezinski, we look at two of the major players in the war of freedom. In the war on freedom and liberty, those two were major players with others that wanted to take out liberty and freedom across the board. For everybody, not just the U.S. For everybody around the world. I'd like to help you focus your attention on that, because the bottom line is nobody can take your God-given rights away. That's what unalienable, or as I would like to say, inalienable. Is it unalienable? Inalienable? I don't know. Let's go take a look. But no one has a right to take your God-given rights away. Okay? No one. I don't care who the hell they are. They cannot take them away. Inalienable. I'm putting inalienable because that's how I pronounce it. Not transferable to another, or not capable of being taken away or denied. Not alienable. Okay? So let me put the U in front of that, which is how other people use that word, unalienable. This is unalienable, same thing, not transferable to another or not capable of being taken away or denied. There you go. You have inalienable rights, unalienable rights. Your particular understanding of a creator in this whole world and in this whole cosmos gave you the right to live, gave you the right to defend yourself, gave you the right to travel wherever you wanted to go, gave you the right to hang out on the corner and talk to your friends if you wanted to, gave you the right to do whatever it is you wanted to do, to follow your conscience in a way that you thought was right for you. Your protections were made. Your God-given rights were protected by a Constitution and a Bill of Rights of the United States of America prior to 1871. So, my question to you is real simple. Why are you allowing all of these negative people, these Sanders supporters, these Clinton supporters, these fascist supporters, these socialist supporters, these Marxist supporters, these communist supporters, why are you allowing them to tell you how to live? Why are you doing this? Why are you allowing this? Why is it so important for you to go along to get along? Why is it? Is there a reason for that? Is there a reason why you're not standing up to the bullies of the federal government? Is there a reason why you're not staring down these bullies? Is there a reason why you can't get up out of your chair and go to the state capitals and rally hundreds of people together and march around that capitol and demand that they change things to benefit you? Isn't that happening? Yeah, it is. It's happening by the Republican fascists, Democratic socialists, and all those who follow those two parties. That's happening, and the changes that are being made are affecting you in a negative way and affecting your God-given protected rights, period. In other words, politicians who bully you and push you and make you change your mind, that's the definition of tyranny. That's the definition of tyranny. There is no other way of looking at it. That is the definition of tyranny. That's it. Okay? Pushing you to change your mind, pushing you in hopes that it will change the situation to benefit them. Let me go to dictionary.com again, and you can follow me if you'd like. Dictionary.com. Let me look under tyranny, and I will tell you the definition of tyranny. And if that stupid browser... Oh, God, I hate this browser. Oppressive or unjustly severe government on the part of any ruler. Arbitrary or unrestrained exercise of power, despotic abuse of authority, period. That's what tyranny is. That's what tyranny is. And people are trying to change this whole political paradigm to suit them, to get rid of conservatism and get rid of freedom and liberty. So I don't want to hear it anymore from you far left liberal morons out there that want your safe space, that want, you're offended that somebody wore a particular color shirt or a shirt with the American flag on it. Give me a freaking break. I'm done with you jackasses. I'm going to get out of here. I know I'm ending on a bad note, so let me give you a little something to remember in a positive way. Those people who want peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this nation, you are on the front line of peace, freedom, liberty, and security for the nation. So you're the ones that are going to have to decide what you will allow in your state, in your government, in your city, in your neighborhood. You're going to have to decide that. You, not your politicians, you. There you go. It's a positive note. That's the way it is, folks. American Liberty Radio is the website. My website is WayneSPierce.com. And I'm getting out of here. You are listening to the American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.